Alongside Scott Pendlebury, who's had a haircut. Pendlebury having another terrific year. Harry O'Brien hasn't had a haircut. As we get underway, Cox wins the first one down. Pendlebury, the opening kick, sends it down towards half forward. Awkward bouncing footy taken by Adam Selwood. Smothered off the boot by Dawes. Well done by Hearn. Prentice, Nat Nui loops it over the top. The big guys combine. Now Selwood, Scott runs the outer side, kicks to Lynch. He's got it at right half forward. Nice work by the Eagles. Lynch, long kick. Kennedy, he's red hot. He's still smouldering from last week.
That's just great, isn't it, for the West Coast Eagles? They win the contested ball at centre half back. They spread Nat Nui out to Cox. I mean, what a great combination to have at your disposal, those two players, and then the good ball movement forward too. And that was an area of major concern for them last year, was able to retain possession. They were the worst in the competition, but obviously they've spent a long summer and working on that part of their game.
Coming off a 10. 10 is good. Unless it's a cholesterol. Here he is about 5 metres in. Oh, please. Josh Kennedy is a star.
Here's the mark again. Tarrant has matched up with Kennedy. Really good ball movement on the outer side of the game. That's a strong grab too. He jumps early, gets his hands behind the ball. Strong presence.
What a wonderful finish there from the pocket. He's been accurate all year. 22-8 now from set shots. But as Dennis said, he's carrying right on from where he was at the end of last week. Cloak and glass at the other end. So good start for the Eagles here. Pendlebury cleverly done. Swan just slight fumble. More like a duck for a moment, wasn't he? Un-Swan-like. Davis well played. Runs away from Kerr and then kicks the ball to half forward. Schofield and Dawes, the 231s together, and build it over the line.
I think they can really test this back line of the West Coast Eagles, but they've got to get that ball supply. That's why these centre bounces become so critical. What a beautiful clean pick up there from Leon Davis.
He's one of 6 Magpies out there today that didn't play in the Premiership last year, and that's the same number that played in the West Coast Premiership in 06. Nat Nui doesn't dispose of it really, and Swan sweeps on it after the Thomas handball. Tackle, I should say. Embley, Schofield. So Lacroix up the ground. Going to be a good duel, Tim. Lacroix and O'Brien. Lovely, neat kick. Rosa on the left. Kennedy the target. Got underneath it. Tarrant well played. Tuvey, wonderful to have him back. Shaw, penetrating kick.
Just beyond the wing. Well done by Glass. Took care of Cloak. Left it for Schofield. Embley. Lacroix. Glass, another good shepherd. Lacroix goes down towards half forward. Ill-directed though, and the mark is taken by Davis.
That's 2 poor kicks there. The West Coast Eagles going forward.
Back to Reid. Across the outer side, Maxwell. Thomas. Now a man moving towards him. That's Pendlebury. He's taken the mark just in from the boundary. It's a different man, Pendlebury. A lot of touches early this afternoon, so that's keeping the way he's been playing in stock. He comes across. The mark is taken once again by Tarrant. So they try one side, then the other. There's Davis.
Davis spears the ball to Shaw. So not a lot gained. The spread's good to watch. Buckley, his running power will be important today. Inside the forward 50 is a good kick. Side bottom at the back. Good kick too. Look at that. Beautiful.
It was a patient build-up here from Collingwood, and Hearn was the free player. Jump, missed the ball. That guy is just absolutely deadly, though, side bottom around goals. Just a touch of class. It required a touch of class, and he delivered. Here's a long kick. Here's Hearn, who's this free player, just not getting enough purchase on that ball. I mean, he was trying to knock the ball out of bounds, but side bottom, as we've seen so many times early in his career, great capacity to read the ball.
Two great goals to start the afternoon. Hacked out of mid-air by Wood. Taken by Ebert. Goes to Shepherd. Chips towards the outer side. Nikoski having a good year as well. Bit of grit on the forward line. And he plays down there. Kicks from just behind the wing. Lynch on the lead. Ball spills to the back. Taken by Swan. Didak had to wait. Nikoski got him. Selwood in trouble. Won't beat that tackle. Yes, he does. Selwood did nicely. Feeds it across to support. Shuey over the shoulder. They're under pressure. Those side bottom who got the last goal. Lynch fell on him. That's not good. Can't be good. Buckley gets it across towards Thomas. Went looking for Didak. Selwood's in there again. Off the ground by Adam Selwood. Goes only as far as Thomas. No room to operate. Did the hard stuff, but the kick goes out of bounds on the fall.
He fended off, didn't he? A bit high, and then was able to...
The tackle just didn't stick enough, did it?
He was strong through the hips and got rid of Davis in the end. So West Coast to half forward. Lynch tries to get rid of the pack. Nikoski in the front. Side bottom busy early. Thomas again. Another kick, that one. Better directed. Dawes wrapped up. Had it a while. Good tackle. And then Shuey did really well there to take the Davis running, but rather the Cracker running, then Cracker off the ground. Cox, little give. Lecra, he's got magpies all around him, then kicks the ball to Nat Nui, got him. So knick-knack about 40 metres out, 50 metres out. Oh, Kennedy flew very high. Thomas so busy early.
A lot of the football, little 1-2 with Pendlebury. In trouble, side bottom, clever. Tubi comes away. Didak, metres in the clear. Drifting back towards goal is Dawes. He's got to look for Dawes. Goes in that direction. He's outnumbered. Knocked down in front by Smith. Overrun by Cracker. That's holding it surely. Full revolution. Smith does nicely. Just lays it off. Ebert. Now Scott Selwood. A little too cute, perhaps. Darling got down, found the footy. In trouble. Gives it to Shuey. Shuey to Prentice. Strong tackle, Tuvi. Loose ball, headed for the centre circles, headed for the ball is O'Brien, well played, into the path of Pendlebury, taken on by Schofield. Wellingham, the boy from the Perth Footy Club, goes long down towards full forward, bounces off the head of Smith. Or was it Rosa down there? Rosa it was, headed back towards the goal line and a behind.
There's that big leap by Kennedy. Maxwell being used as a step ladder. He won't enjoy that at all. In the end, Tarrant got a fizz to it. But the last 4 times they've gone forward, the West Coast Eagles, they haven't been able to find a target. It's been some great midfield pressure being applied by Collingwood.
So the Selwoods combining with a couple of short kicks in the back half. And that's a patient kick wide. Darling. First match at the MCG. First match against Collingwood for both Darling and Shuey today. I feel like both of them have... got the temperament to be big MCG players. It's early days, I know. So Lynch the target. Maxwell down to you, Richo.
Yeah, great duel developing down here. Harry O'Brien and Mark Lecras. O'Brien's been dragged back to the goal square now, but Lecras got the ability to go up on ball as he has done for the first few minutes. He's had 3 touches. Really interested to see how that one develops.
Cox tries to bring it down behind superbly. Shuey lines up. Off target or behind.
And the other consequence of the West Coast Eagles not being able to hit those targets when they've gone forward is that Collingwood has been able to rebound on them. So a feature of the early season play for the West Coast Eagles hasn't been effective because they haven't been able to press up on them.
Luke Shuey, his parents, David and Michelle, would be very proud. He's battled injuries and problems in the family. A few personal distractions, clearly. But he's there today. He's been there this season, having a very good year. Didak comes to Cloak. He's forward of the wing. He looks inboard, finds McCarthy. So McCarthy has started on the bench to Cloak. Set away on his left side. He can go long down towards full forward. He does that. Side bottom lurking off the pack. Gets the footy. Well, he was a bit lucky there. Or unlucky, depending on who you're barrack for. Could have been penalised side bottom. Now we've got a ball up. Side bottom has an instinct for kicking a goal. Just stayed off the pack. The 2 West Coasters flew. That's him in the foreground, number 22. Keep an eye on him. He's dangerous for the Eagles. So to Cloak. How about that? Just hacked it out of midair, behind.
Those crumbing forwards, we've talked a lot about Cloak and Dawes, but those crumbing forwards today look dangerous, don't they? Side bottom end, cracker early. Alan Didak must be thinking, gee, I used to do what Cloak just did then, and I used to do what side bottom did just then. We're just waiting for a big Didak performance this year, maybe today, but he's been subdued so far, hasn't he, this season?
Yep.
So the Eagles trail by a point, early running. Leach work to the front. That's that firepower that Tim talked about pre-match. The height they have, Shepherd to Scott Selwood to McGinnity, and then McGinnity's got the job on Didak. Reed did well, and then got the ball back, and then the tackle came from Nikoski. Swan bundled off in the end, back to Beams. Just buys some time and space, Beams, and now ball, cracker. Well played, Swan. That's a clever kick because he had two options. He had either side bottom or the boundary line, and in the end he got, well, half of it. So Didak back on. Let's see if he can play with that pomp that we've been so used to over the years.
So boundary throw in. Cox doing very well, got first hand to it, but Collingwood come away with the football. Beams, was he pushed in the back? No, free. Pendlebury taken down by Prittis eventually. Got a belated boot to the footy. Now we've got a whistle.
Free kick in the back.
And Ball gets a free kick. Like I said earlier, coming off a very good game last week, 25 possessions. Probably in as good a form as he's been in throughout his career over the last month. Looks down towards half forwards.
Oh. Holding Chris Dawes. Free kick.
Too easy.
Holding.
Just the size
Chris
there
Dawes.
that was causing some concern. They had two extra players back then to the West Coast Eagles, so they had to go down the line. Collingwood.
Dawes, after a great start, has cooled off a bit. Talking in terms of the season, goes to Reed. Long one down towards full forward. Staying off the pack was Thomas. Off hands, it falls in front now. Gathered by Beams, finds a way through. Snaps. Hangs in the air for an eternity. Get under that. Well, trying to was Thomas. He just went limp and hoped someone would whack him. Then he goes back into the frame, kicks a goal.
Oh, remarkable effort. I mean, both Collingwood goals have been a bit special. That was crazy stuff.
He's imaginative, this bloke, though, isn't he? There's the snap from Beams. And at one stage, while this ball was in the air, no one was actually going to go to Thomas at all. And they just weren't able to. He could have taken that ball through then, actually, Hearn. He was under pressure, and just the opportunistic attack there by Dale Thomas. And he is such a clever player. I mean, last week we saw him kick one of the great torpedo punt goal kicks outside 50. And Cox almost getting his hand on the ball.
Richo?
Yeah, just in that last kick inside 50, Dean Cox was sitting in front of the Collingwood forwards. Cameron Wood's got to get himself dangerous and drag Cox out of there.
Gee, talk about torpedoes, Tim. Shaw's let loose with a long one. Side bottom. And then Swan cleverly to Didak. Shepherd. Still Shepherd. Didak got him down. Ball in hard.
West Coast. Straight back.
I think what we're seeing in the early part of this game too is the West Coast Eagles defence is under a lot more pressure than it's been under in previous weeks because of how well they've been going at the other end of the ground and locking the ball in, and they have just looked a little bit hesitant down there.
Nat Nui belts it down. Rosa, Lacroix and O'Brien, and now Pendlebury in heavy traffic. Gets it to Maxwell. Maxwell bangs it back. Whoa! Didak's big fly almost.
Comes again, does Didak. Bacon goal square. Oh, bounced on its point. Prittis does well. Let's get the feeling Collingwood are sensing it now.
Yeah.
They've got the appetite for the fight.
So it would have been great for Didak's confidence to be able to take a grab like that. He has been down over the last month. His numbers are nowhere near what they were last year, and his productivity. He'll be looking for a big afternoon this afternoon.
Shannon Hearn, one of the nice guys of the competition, drives it straight up the middle. I say that because he talks to me at the airport. Ball goes down towards the pocket. Opportunity for Swan. Swan's in front, trying to earn a free kick. In desperate trouble. Ball puts the head down. Bounces off but it comes across to Didak. Didak out of the congestion. Oh, he's like Val Kilmer in Top Gun. He's the Iceman.
There's some real ground level class in their forward line. You see Dane Swan almost being able to gain possession of the ball. Crackers in picture there. And then you've got Luke Ball, who works so hard inside a contest, and Didak, who was just able to extricate himself. And John Worsfold would be disappointed in the number of broken tackles in the early part of this game too. You don't get that many opportunities against a side like Collingwood. If you get the opportunity to wrap somebody up, then you might make sure that you take them to the ground.
So Nat Nui straight to Ball. So the first big moment comes for the Eagles here now. They trail 3-1. Collingwood have kicked the last 3.
Daniel Kerr without a possession too, Bruce.
Well, Davis started on him and ran off him a couple of times too, Dennis. So Didak, no goals for him in his last 2 matches, and he's started well here. Thomas kicking the ball to 50 metres. Embley, Selwood, and then Lacroix again deep. Back to Embley. One of a couple of Norm Smith's players out there today, and at least one of them sitting in the coach's box. So a boundary throw-in. It's going to be fascinating to see West Coast's response here. How does the game plan hold on? Who can hold their cool here and keep their head over the ball, because the pressure's right on them. There is Kerr that spoke about a moment ago. Shuey, Thomas brilliant early, and a boundary throw-in.
So Hearn is the free player at one end of the ground for the West Coast Eagles, and he sure has been able to free himself up at the other end. So I don't know that too many players play it better than Heath Shaw.
Thomas up to 8 possessions. There's Pendlebury getting plenty of it too. He's got 8 as well now towards half forward. So Kerr needs to get busy. They're getting first hand of the ball quite often at the stoppages. Nice kick there by Shepherd along the line. Working some 1-2 arrangements with Selwood. Before that, Smith. So Kerr beyond the wing. Now he should have punched there, Wood. Ghosting in front. Lynch took the mark. Plays on to Darling. Darling looks across the ground. The high ball to no one. Maxwell. It was intended, I think, for Lacroix, and that's being charitable. Back goes O'Brien. Maxwell. Now Shaw. A really strong feel as Thomas gets another possession. Comes to Wood. A strong West Perth feel about that forward line, the West Coast Eagles, and they tried to combine there. Lynch initially, Darling, Lacroix. Andrew Strike, a very good player. I'd imagine he's a Joondalup this afternoon, trying to get back in this team as Didak went looking for side bottom. Timely hand came from Schofield. Picked up down there by Darling, gives it to Shuey. Shuey at centre half back, fires it towards midfield. Off hands, Nikoski feeds it out wide. Adam Selwood.
Again wide to Kerr. Now, does he come back inside? William corralled him well, and Kerr's kick sloppy. Selwood, boundary throw-in.
Richo.
Yeah, already we looked before the game. We thought the Eagles would have a clear advantage in the ruck, but it's not helping them in the clearances. They're being smashed 8-2. They need to try and get an advantage there.
Gee, what a start for Thomas. We just saw his numbers. 10 disposals. Ball still in. Shuey. Smothered by Didak. Scott Selwood. And then bangs it long. Kennedy caught out of position. Tarrant. Tuvey. O'Brien. Tarrant. Played it well. They are a wonderful defence. Ball. Slowish but control kick. Gets it back from Beams. Back to Ball. Neat to Dawes. Tumbled the mark. McGinnity was courageous. Dawes is hurt, I think.
That doesn't look good.
No, it does not. McGinnity and Ball. Well, Ball's won the footy. Beams, side bottom. Dawes is trying to clear his head. The side bottom looks up now. Pendlebury, I think, is the go-to.
Just back here. Just back here.
It was gutsy by Dawes. I mean, he dropped the mark, tried to make amends, and this happened.
Bang. Right on the jaw.
So Pendlebury's going to have the shot after side bottom found him with a beautiful pass. He's accurate from set shots, Pendlebury. Kicks 4 out of 5 this year. And he's got it. So Collingwood lead 4-1. They've got 4 of the 5 goals.
The real difference at the moment is the West Coast Eagles can't lock the ball in their forward line. And at the other end of the ground, the Collingwood, when they go forward, they're actually able to find that free player. And their ball movement has been outstanding. These Dawes just almost scrambling along the ground there just to make a contest. And just the hip of the Eagles player connecting flush on the jaw. But I think he's going to be okay. I think we're going to see him back out there.
Shuey's got it. Life would have been a lot easier had Dawes taken the mark. As far as Dawes is concerned, O'Brien, Davis, Swan. Oh, what a terrific mark. I'd pay that. Well, it's in the back. Gee, plays only for the football Dane Swan. Just pops it across to Wood. Now this is his go. He's got to try and run off the big guys from the West Coast Eagles. That's tough because Nat Nui is very athletic. Lacroix did nicely. Shepherd, Pritis, they feed it back. Now the skipper, Glass, close to the boundary line. Up goes Lynch. He's going to get a free kick.
He's been all right, Quinn Lynch, hasn't he, in the early part of this game? I mean, he's been playing up really high, but he's actually been a really strong target for the Eagles.
Takes on Tarrant, runs away from him, kicks it down towards half forward. Oh, that is one of the great marks. O'Brien just going back with the flat of the footy, controlling it.
Great stuff, wasn't it? So, and then O'Brien bangs it back. Long ball, Cloak read it best. His acceleration impressive there, Cloak. Wellingham running hard, Tracker running hard. It's an open forward line, and Cloak's a long kick. To the free kick. Beams, was he held? Selwood, it's a hot footy for the Eagles right now. McCarthy, Didak, cut off by Smith. Thomas, well done. Back to Beams, back to Cloak, back inboard. Pendlebury again, looked up, lovely kick. Thomas almost, they can raffle it. Cracker, misses the behind, almost the lock.
How much more dangerous do they look than the West Coast Eagles when they go forward? And they've got ground level players too that are able to pounce on the ball and create something. See Dawes there, who went downstairs for a while, but he's back on the bench, and I guess they'll be doing the concussion test in the next 5 or so minutes just to see whether or not there's some long-term effects from that or some shorter-term effects from that bump he took.
Turn to Shuey. Shuey goes out wide. Maxwell in front. Over the top, Darling. Terrific grab. Played on quickly too. Pritis, Embley. Punishing kick in best position. Kennedy, well done by O'Brien, got back with the body. Nikoski tackled by Reid, swooping on the loose ball. O'Brien, then getting him was Kennedy. Play on's the call. Opportunity now for Selwood. He's taken high, Scott Selwood. He'll get the free kick.
That was great play then by Reid. Ebert was running to the goal square on his own. I think this might just do him for distance, Dennis.
Could do. Don't know much about his length of kick, to be honest. Sure, don't. He plays like a Selwood. Energy and aggression to spare. You're right, Tim. It's going to fall short, 5 metres out. Off hands, falls in front. Half chance there for the West Coast Eagles. Pendlebury again. They're ripping the West Coast Eagles apart at the moment. Pendlebury and Thomas. Just outstanding. What? Pendlebury up to 11 now. Thomas has 11 as well. Didak's had 7, and where's Luke Ball? He's had 7. So those runners in the midfield virtually unopposed.
Cox wins the tap, and here's the guy that's been the benchmark over the last few years in that area. Swan getting that kick. McGinnity, and then to Shepherd, and then to half forward as a blazing kick, and not a good one. And Tarrant unopposed is just coming out so easily, Tim, isn't it?
2.
Hearn. So Glass and Cloak off the ball enabled Hearn to take an unopposed mark. Cloak unhappy with the treatment he might have got. Now the big switch on to Schofield. They've only trailed once this year at quarter time, the Eagles, and that was round one against the Kangaroos. They'll be behind today.
Mark 10, Chris Holt.
And that was just a kick in at that day, so that had a happy ending. So Darling goes back again. But at the moment they're in reverse a bit, the Eagles. Schofield uncertain. That's okay. Glass, they can come up the corridor now. Glass to Kerr, and then Kerr loads it up. Kennedy brings it down. Lacroix was searching. Kennedy did the roving. Can he get a handball out? Nikoski, Davis, still with Davis, dropped it down. Swan, clever kick to O'Brien. Chance over for McGinnity.
Ball is out of bounds. So I think Swan is up to 8 possessions now too. So out of that machine in the midfield, they're getting a lot of ball. Bear in mind that the Eagles are generally getting first hand at the clearances. Again there, but straight down to Didak. Cox directed it down to Didak, and the ball goes across the line and out of bounds. Bit to ponder. He's won 4 out of 12 against Michael Malthouse. Boundary throw in. Cox is in front this time. Wood won it. Beams got it. Same story. Different first hand. Socket inside the attacking 50 for the Eagles. Darling goes off the ground into the shins there of Reed. Oh, that's well worked. Brilliant stuff by Didak. Got it across to Beams. Drives it towards the wing. Well played by Adam Selwood. Just blocking there. And Smith takes the mark.
Big switch again to Glass. It's like a maze for them at the moment. How do they find their way through? Kerr, danger, in trouble. Sweeps out the handball, but it's untidy. Schofield, still Schofield. He neglected a couple of handballs. He decided to go with a long ball. Reed in a good spot. Brings it to ground. Lacroix back to Priddis. Back to Lacroix. He's got a man short in Cox. And that one
should have gone to Cox.
Dribbles over for a behind.
Actually, Cox looked back over his shoulder then at Lacroix to say that ball should have actually been directed at me. Too much bombing of the ball forward, though, the West Coast Eagles, and I'm sure that'll be an area of concentration for John Worsfold at quarter time. They're making life really difficult for Kennedy.
Michael Malthouse down on the boundary, having a bit to say, in particular to Steele's side bottom. There's Turvey, terrible kick, comes straight to Hearn, sends it back over his head. Cox is in the pocket, needs to play on. Well, decides against it. So it'll take a good kick from here.
I mean, even though that's gone deep and it's gone to Cox, he's in a really low percentage position. There were 3 West Coast Eagles players who were between 35 and the kicker that had he lowered his eyes, he would have been able to hit, and they were in high percentage positions to have a shot at goal.
Historians looking back on his decade at the West Coast Eagles didn't see Mick smile much. I think 3 times was the record in one afternoon. He was smiling broadly there, but it was a wry smile. That'll make him smile. Cox puts it just through for a behind on the far side.
Some of these players and coaches know each other so well, don't they?
Yeah.
The lovely mix of the Eagles and the Pies.
Inside 50s, 12 to the West Coast Eagles, 11 to Collingwood. So it's not as if they haven't had their fair share of play in their half. What they need to do is just reorganise themselves and just be a little bit more clever with their ball use.
Collingwood have generated twice as many scoring shots and kicked 4 of the 5 goals. So ball with the ball, and
Thanks, Andrew.
one of 4 or 5 midfielders for Collingwood have been outstanding in the opening term. So Kennedy kicked the first, and then it was all Collingwood really after that. Quarter time, big crowd here now, and Collingwood lead by 3 goals, 1. It's 28-9 on Sunday footy at the G.
Sparkler. Second term, MCG. On an overcast Sunday afternoon. It's chilly. Great day for footy, though. 1 down by Cox. Priddis. Selwood back to Cox under pressure. Boots it towards half forward. Coming up the ground, Maxwell. He's got plenty of help too. Thomas begins the second term as he played the first. It goes out wide to Shaw to Maxwell. Maxwell, clever kick. Wellingham. Grew up barracking for these West Coast Eagles, and now 50.
I didn't hear anything. I never called touch play on.
Sorry, the AFL sub-woofer there, Michael Vozzo. Can't compete with him.
I didn't hear it, so I can't, unless I call play on.
Here's a Cox kick. Now, that kick there was under pressure. That handball should have gone back behind him again, and then the next player with the ball wouldn't have been under so much pressure, and it leads to a rebound opportunity for Collingwood now to kick a goal.
Jared Wellingham, as I said, barrack for the Eagles. His hero was Chris Judd. He steps inside the 50, goes very close to the man on the mark who didn't move and kicked it straight into him. What was he thinking? Still likes the Eagles.
Advantage.
Advantage is paid. Oh, it's a dicey one. Prittis gets away though. Hand pass is okay. Scott Selwood to Adam. Adam Selwood, left half back, sends a high ball towards the wing. Lynch leads the players to the ball, and he's getting a free kick.
Against Leon Davis, jump straight into him.
He's coming a long way up the ground, is Lynch, to get his kicks this afternoon. Saw him a few times in the previous term. On the opposite wing, he kicks towards half forward. Well, it's going to be a long afternoon as Kennedy takes his lead right to the boundary, off his fingertips and out of bounds.
Darling's had 7 touches in his first quarter too, as we've seen Natanui on the bench there, but most of those have been right up the ground too. He's going to be able to do his best work if they can play him deeper.
Well, Wellington read the Cox, tapped beautifully, and then Pendlebury to Ball to Beams as Collingwood stream forward again. Dawes protected it pretty well. Side bottom. Hearn cuts it off now. Shepherd. Heard the umpy there. Cox. It's a good handle. Now Hearn, you want him with the ball in hand, don't you? Long bomb, open forward line. O'Brien did well. He worked Lacroix underneath. Interesting there by Lynch to Ebert. Not sure about that. Thought he could have perhaps attacked the goal face and the boundary throw in.
So I reckon the first kick should have gone to Ebert. He actually pushed up the ground, and that's going to keep the Collingwood defence really honest. If you honour that kick and you lower your eyes, as it was, they knew the ball was going longer and deeper, and they are outnumbering the West Coast Eagles.
Cox behind the pack. Ball was there though. Rosa does nicely. Prittis scrambles a kick inside the forward 50. Thomas met solidly. Still goes after the footy, taken high. He's playing a blinder. Thomas goes out wide to Ball. Gets there in just the nick of time. There we are. He was hit hard as he took that mark. Good ball. Right half back. High ball to the wing. Wellingham works in front. Neither player touched the football. Wellingham comes back into it though. Drives it down towards half forward. That was terrific by Cloak. He landed and bounced. Plays on. Quick transference. In the pocket, Pendlebury. Cox over the top, didn't touch the footy. Smith brushed the footy. Taken by Beams off balance. McCarthy. Interesting ball drop. Nikoski. Well done.
Kept his eye on it.
Stay clear at the back.
Collingwood winning all the one-on-ones at the moment.
And they're winning those ground level balls in their forward line too. It seems to be something that the West Coast Eagles can't lock down on.
So Nikoski gets a couple more metres and then kicks to Lynch outnumbered. Reid belts the ball back. Kerr attacks it hard. It's the best bit of play he's done today. I know the handball wasn't all that good, but he attacked the ball really strongly. And then Balls kicked back to about 55 metres. Side bottom with one hand. Selwood, Smith. Well played. He went to dummy the handball. The kick's not a good one, though. It was a floater for Tuvey. Natanui, Swan held the kick back. Prittis, Lacroix. They need to think their way through. Darling takes his time. Good kick gives Kennedy half a chance. Getting back Tarrant, conceding.
You like Darling for a young kid, though, don't you, playing his first season? He was just trying to calculate what's the best thing to do with the ball here. And really, Kennedy just didn't have the leg speed to race Tarrant to the ball.
Heath Shaw got it from Thomas. Goes to half forward. Cloak manages to keep it in. Back to Beams to Cloak. Gee, they're sharp this afternoon, but they're not putting it on the scoreboard just yet. Pendlebury battles against Shepherd, and the ball bounces out of bounds.
Dodek free then, just behind that contest.
They're so slick at the moment, just tossing the ball around, Collingwood. But their margin is only 18. Natanui charging through the pack. Wellingham still going goalward. Hearn gave it to Selwood. Prittis. Smith. Now Shuey. Arches the back and goes towards the outer side wing. On the lead, Kennedy. Oh, clever by Heath Shaw to Thomas. Thomas is on world record pace, although Pendlebury is looming alongside. Courage from Naitanui. Prentice did well. Rosa out of defence.
Lynch, who's getting a lot of the ball, looks up and he's got no one to kick it to. He's buying some time. And now he goes with a kick to Darling. And Darling's outnumbered. He's got Tuvey and Reid. Reid and Darling boundary throwing.
Got some speed, Darling, hasn't he, for a player at 191. He's got some real presence too. Defensively, Collingwood are playing extremely well. They're making it difficult for the players up the ground when they have control of the ball to find a free target.
His first goal so important in the second term. Collingwood lead by 18 points. Davis with a high one to centre wing. Hearn front spot. Dawes made a contest. Side bottom, Hearn. Naitanui, the ball flings out. Getting down low. McGinnity has it ripped away by side bottom and then tries to win it back. The ball's still in dispute. Shuey there along with side bottom. Where is it? Richard.
But down at ground level, it's going to be a tough day taking marks inside 50, not because of the conditions, just the way both teams are playing, and both teams are getting plenty of help in defence. Only 4 marks inside 50.
Wood won it down, stolen away by Prentice. Kicks inside the forward 50. Good mark to Reid.
Good example too of what Richard was just telling us about. 2-1 Collingwood right there.
Goes across the ground. Bounces away from Shaw. This will be interesting. Test for Darling. Shaw decided against finessing. Went to side bottom. Slipped over. Here's our man Buckley. Bruce. He's a very good kick of the football. Will it get there in time? Kerr did well. Came back on ball and then restrict Kerr. And will get the free kick. Well, not happy about that, but that was terrific by Daniel Kerr. Came back, gave a contest. Now Hearn.
Good kick.
What a beauty. Lynch. A much maligned Lynch. Certainly their best target up forward at the moment. Comes out wide to McGinnity. Umpire gave him a free earlier. Had no idea who he was. Here's Rosa. That'll change though. McGinnity is a very tough young hombre.
Nick Maxwell made him famous, didn't he?
He did, that's right.
Kick to half forward. Kennedy gets rid of Tarrant. Davis did well. Cracker. Thomas yet again. Lovely kick to ball. Collingwood with space now. Didak takes off. McCarthy. And then McCarthy measures it. Dawes read it best. He's a long bomb, Dawes, but he's got options everywhere. He's like the boy in the lolly shop for a moment. He wasn't quite sure where to put his hand in, was he?
He could just about kick this though, couldn't he?
He is within distance, yeah. That was a beautiful kick to him though, wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
Here's the spoil here from Daniel Kerr. Kept his feet there, just fantastic. Just jumped on the back there of Luke Ball. Clearly a trip.
Pretty accurate, Dawes. Lovely long kick. Got a lot of economy about the way he plays, Dawes. Economic run up, and is that going to come back? Just missing. So in a holding pattern a bit at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, no, they're playing good pressure, the West Coast Eagles, but they're going to give Collingwood too many opportunities this afternoon. If they can't keep and hold the ball in their forward line and find targets, Collingwood, with their spread, they've got superior class and they've all in their midfield, and they've also got better leg speed around the ground.
And the other thing too, I think West Coast Eagles are stronger forward than back. Lynch again. Geez, presenting well, Lynch. Looks down towards half forward, spots Lacroix. In fact, bypasses Lacroix and goes to Nikoski, who feeds it inside. Kerr spirals this one down to full forward. Now they've got 2 on 1 here. It goes through for a goal anyway. Oh, terrific.
I think we're seeing the introduction of something that, or the reintroduction of something we haven't seen for a long time. That's the talk.
Yep.
So a brilliant one last week from Thomas, and that's one on the run from Kerr. And they're not easy to kick on the run, but getting the right bounce end over end, and that is the best way to break down Collingwood's defence. Kick the ball right over the top.
Timothy's 100th career goal. I'm not sure if he's actually going for goal, but the talk worked.
I reckon he was going for Ebert, and Ebert has actually been finding a lot of space, but the players have been missing him as they've moved the ball forward.
So Naitanui, Prentice, they're starting to do well in the clearances. Down to Shuey, long ball forward. Kennedy made a contest. Where are the Crummers? Lynch Talked a lot about him today. Good tackle, holding the footy. Tuvey was the tackler. Davis the recipient. Out wide. Pendlebury, Schofield. Schofield taps it back though. Wellingham, Pendlebury. So good in close, Pendlebury, isn't he? Buckley. Back to Pendlebury from Wellingham, and then the torpedo, the floater. Smith read it well.
Good pressure, though.
Takes a mark. West Coast are doing well. We're not being condescending. I mean, they are doing well here. They've managed to stop Collingwood from scoring much. But they just feel they just, again, need the next goal. They got the first goal of the second quarter a moment ago. They need the next.
Ebert to McGinnity. Controls the ball at left half back. Looks towards half forward. Cox in best position to mark. Does. Well, it got to him. He was a bit surprised by it. Came in low. Goes wide. Lynch battles with Maxwell, and Maxwell puts it out of bounds. Now, that's an interesting situation there, because Maxwell just slapped it across the line. Sometimes these umpires, I think, still get confused about being under pressure on the goal line and deliberate around the ground. You with me, Tim?
I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm confused over this incorrect disposal, I must say.
Maxwell was with Lynch and gets the free kick. I mentioned much maligned before for Lynch, but his record is an imposing one as the ball is on the outer side, and the mark is taken well by Ebert. A lot of players there, and Ebert eyes for the footy, comes to Rosa. Now Embley's moving. Rosa will find him. Embley takes the mark. Next link in the chain. Well, there isn't one at the moment. He drives it towards half forward. Body on body. Davis and Nikoski. Behind a half chance for Tuvey. Missed it. Good tackle on Darling. Down he goes. And the umpire will ball it up.
Gee, Embley worked hard there a moment ago.
Clearances there. Just West Coast Eagles just edging in front in the second quarter. Which is a good sign.
Yeah, Priddis has been the one. And he's always the one, isn't he, in that area. Little gift by Beams was okay. And now Kennedy, well played. Tuvey, Nikoski, he's got a good chance on the left. So behind. So 5 times this year Nikoski's kicked a couple of goals. He didn't play much footy last year. In fact, they got 4 or 5 out there today. Kerr, another one, obviously. Just couldn't get them on the field last year.
Glass only played 8. Shuey only played half a dozen games last year.
They've been like new recruits almost, haven't they? So they're enjoying a good patch here, the Eagles. It's a 12-point game.
Davis to himself then. Not much to pick from out there. In front, Ebert. Arriving quickly short. Priddis got the crumb, though. Here's Darling just outside the 50. Goes back to Hearn. Hearn thumps it down towards full forward. Coming across, Reid gets a fist on it, puts it out of bounds.
It's just the finesse that's lacking in the West Coast Eagles play. I mean, you can't question their effort. I mean, they love the contested situation, and they're a disciplined side, but there are just times out there where they're just taking the wrong option.
Reid, Beams, Davis. Wide of Shaw, and Shaw tracks it to the boundary and pushes it across.
Richo?
Yeah, down here, you get the feel the Eagles are really on top, as you were saying, Bruce, and it's one man, it's Priddis. He's got into the game. He's had 3 clearances. He's a real barometer for them when he's getting the ball there.
The other thing that's happened here, Frida West Coast, they've been able to keep the ball in their forward 50, Tim, for the first time in this match.
Well, there hasn't been those easy outs for Collingwood, so they haven't been able to rebound. This bloke's a real handful at these stoppages. He has most of his clearances from around the ground are at stoppages, throw-ins, and Wood would be aware of that. Such a big man, hard to lock down.
No Darren Jolly. Richo asked John Westfold about that pre-match. So Cox's kick, not going to make it. Big flies, and that was interesting. Nick Maxwell.
Pressure, it's all clear, one behind.
Too much pressure.
Too much pressure. That's the easiest goal I've seen in a long time.
That's right, umpire. He kicked a goal.
This was quite bizarre, wasn't it? Look at this. Bang.
No pressure on him there.
No, that's a crazy rule.
Hopefully, I think there's a chance we might talk to Nick as he's walking off the ground at half-time. I hope Richo asks him about it.
Okay. Here's Reid under pressure. Buckley, who kicked it to him and put him there. Came back to Buckley, but lucky. Tuvey. Great pressure from the Eagles at the moment. Maxwell thought about another shot, decided against it. Goes short. Wellingham knocks it down. Smith got it. falling to the ground. Selwood, that man that Richo was speaking about. Pritis unloads. Back goes O'Brien. He was under pressure. And he knocks it across the line. So both those examples we were talking about have deliberate out of bounds and no pressure involving Nick Maxwell. Ball inside the defensive 50 still.
Leon 50, hold and 3. Hold it, hold it, hold it.
That's against
Leon
Nikoski
Davis.
for hanging on to Leon Davis after he got rid of the ball.
Leon Davis, 3 after disposal, hold and 50.
Just watch it here again. There's Nikoski just making sure that he can't be that link-up player and overlap.
Well, Bozo gives it everything too, doesn't he? No one dies not knowing. There's Davis. Drives it down towards half forward. Big pack at the drop. Well done, Schofield. Angles it towards the line. Thomas, who's become a little quieter, is across the boundary line as he kicked it.
It's just been in Eagles' hands of late, hasn't it, rather than Pies' hands?
They've had the momentum, but they just haven't been able to score. And that's dangerous against a great side like Collingwood.
And the goal was a bit of a Hail Mary too, wasn't it? So no real system. Shaw up and down. Heard the call. Not 15. Dawes belts forward. Glass did all right. Just for the record, Dennis, Josh tells me that that's Nick Maxwell's first goal since 09.
Is it? Oh, well. Breaks a drought there. Can't penalise a man who breaks a drought.
So Dawes and Nat Nui taps down. Pritis, well done, Beams. Hooking back. Hearn. Now Wellingham red at the best. And then Wellingham kicks to the front of the goal square. Glass should be able to pick it up. Oh, it's out of the fall. No, above the knee, was it?
Apparently.
Gee, a lucky break, I think.
I still reckon it's those ground level players that Collingwood has in their forward line that see that just come off the top of his shin.
I think the boundary umpire got that wrong, didn't he?
It was actually the goal umpire that made the call. The boundary umpire was a fair way back. So a baller.
Ball at the base of the pack.
All of Collingwood's goals have been scored by those ground level players too. Thomas, Pendlebury, Didak and Sidebottom.
Nat Nui to a dangerous spot, to a dangerous man. Cracker wheels around and kicks a goal. Oh, Nick.
Exactly what you're talking about, Tim. I mean, it's their crumbing forwards that have been the problem.
Yeah, their ability to get back onto the ball, their agility. It's something that the Eagles haven't been able to match in the early part of this game. That's Cracker's 11th goal for the year. He's dangerous.
He's a sharpshooter, isn't he? He really had an impact late against the Crows. So Collingwood getting their goals from Didak, Cracker, Pendlebury, Thomas and Sidebottom. So not the big guys so far today, but it's a handy goal. It gives them the breathing space again. Nat Nui out of the centre, takes them on, puts Kerr under the pump, and now has to win it back, Nat Nui, and he does, and then belts the ball forward. A bit of a wrestle going on between Lynch and Reid, and then Embley, free kick to Reid. Is it?
On the man, and Reid.
Nat Nui was outstanding in the centre bounce there.
Oh, that's a dangerous kick from Reid. But Darling couldn't hold his feet. Tuvey, so dependable. Running bounce. Kicks the ball over the head of Dawes. And then Glass, and Dawes, I think, surprises Glass, but keeping it in. And now Swan may be the beneficiary. Glass puts on the tackle. Swan holds it up. Back to Rosa. Smith, Selwood. Back to Ebert. They're being tested, these young Eagles. Kicks the ball to centre wing. O'Brien, big fly. Tarrant at the back.
Well done, Pritis. Threads the ball through. Nikoski under pressure. Kennedy has won out. Well done, Reid. He's played very well down there, Reid. Close to the boundary line. Buckley taken across the line. We'll have a throw in. Simon Buckley. We like him, don't we, Bruce? We do like him.
We can't believe he played one game only in 09 and didn't play it all in 10.
No.
We like him.
We do.
What's that trap there by Pritis? That was just brilliant at the face of that pack.
After the boundary throw in, Pritis a half chance. Dives after the football. He's been good. Close to the boundary line. Reid kept it alive and then gets it out of bounds.
He's really come to life, this bloke. 12 touches this quarter, Chris. He's been outstanding around the stoppages. Pendlebury's had 11 in the first quarter, but he's had just 4 in this quarter.
In front of the pack, Buckley had a chance. Oh, well done, Maxwell. Taken by Shaw.
Long kick to Dawes, and then Didak swoops on it, and then a high ball. He's bought some time there, Didak, I think, for the force to get back to put the pressure on Schofield. It worked, and now Beams to Didak. He might finish it all. Ridden to the ground, no free kick. The Army scream and roar, and they get nothing for it.
Oh, Timmy, I was talking about the bomb. That was the bomb.
That is the bomb.
That's the bomb.
That
Kick
is
it
the
up,
bomb.
and the fullback drops it.
But his football IQ is second to none, isn't it?
Great tap there again by Nadman.
Kerr under the pump. Hearn belts it only as far as Shaw. 52 metres out. And that one, Thomas! Yes! And then Daisy cuts it back to Pendlebury.
The Daisy cutter.
Oh, nice. But the bomb.
When was the last time you saw the bomb used like that?
Well, I've been advocating it. Last thing I said was blood capsules. I see somebody in England rugby beat me to that one.
What a great goal for Collingwood. It all started with Didak's bomb.
That's what happens against great sides. You have almost 20 minutes of play, the ball in your half, unable to take advantage of it. Just watch this Thomas mark again. And you can't, I mean, you see Scott Selwood, you can't allow a player like Thomas to run and jump. He can just about do everything now, Daisy Thomas, can't he? He's an outside player, but he's an inside player.
If you were picking a team from scratch, he'd be in your first 10, I reckon. Out of the middle, Wood goes with the outside of the boot simply because he does so many things, Thomas. McGinnity tackle from both sides, and we'll have a ball up.
It's a great credit to him, isn't it, to be able to round your game out like he has?
Oh, yeah.
And it's really happened in the last 12 months.
When he first arrived, he was actually hard to sort of pin down as to what he was good at, what he would be good at. In some respects, that was his weakness. Now it's become his strength. Ebert lunges at the football. Davis manages to keep it in. Oh, turned around and waiting for him was Embley.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Sort of, yes. Well, OK, we're confused. Embley, advantage was paid. Kick goes back towards the middle. Reaching over the top, knocking it forward. Turvey, side bottom, strong tackle on Rosa. Trying to find a way through his Hearn. Gives it to Plittis. Doesn't that left foot help? Went on his left side, gives it across to Selwood, to Lynch. Now, Lynch is about 70 metres from goal. Kennedy wants it. Lynch a little uncertain, to say the least. Goes back to Selwood. It was 15. Adam Selwood plays on. Comes to Kerr. Dying minutes of this first half. Kerr towards the pocket, over Embley's head, and it runs out of bounds.
Well, was this advantage or not? Here we go. There's Leon Davis. There's the tackle. Definitely a free kick. Embley. Well, he didn't really go, did he? He was just waiting to see which way the umpire was pointing.
Cox. Good tap. Kerr. Embley. Still in play. Shuey kicks the ball through for a behind. Richo, you were right in front of that Embley advantage. How did you read it?
Yeah, exactly as Timmy was saying. Pendlebury stopped the tackle because he didn't believe that the advantage was going to be paid. So the confusion continues, and Scott Pendlebury's involved again.
Well, the other thing was Pendlebury then stopped tackling him. Had he not done that, it would have been very embarrassing for all concerned. Beams goes up and takes the mark. Beams trying to cement a place in this team. Just pops it over the top. There's Buckley. Looks better in a Collingwood jumper, Bruce, you got to say, don't you? Hey?
He does.
Just like Phil Mickelson when he won the Masters. Things changed. That green jacket complemented his cleavage as the ball is on the wing. Prentice's hand pass into the path there of Sidebottom, who slaps it, looking for ball. Oh, Sidebottom came out backwards. Prentice was over the footy. Down goes Cloak. Hearn, head down, rampant Hearn, robbed of the football by Ball, comes out the back eventually. Sidebottom, or rather Selwood, kicks it up towards the wing. Maxwell sold Lynch a pup and kicks to half forward.
Wellingham makes the contest. Kerr getting busier, running hard, and then the outside of the boot. It was a good kick actually, because I know he's kicked to a 2-on-1, but they were about 4-on-1 if he kicked the ball straight down the middle. On the out, Tuvey to Davis. O'Brien very wide. Sidebottom's a kick though. Hits him now. Sidebottom at centre wing. Has Harry running wild and wide. And then O'Brien, lovely looking kick played Schofield. That's a terrific defensive.
Just want to go back to that Kerr kick, that last one going forward here. Nikoski actually pushed hard to him, and you can see Nikoski actually turning around again at the right of screen. That's the kick that the West Coast Eagles players have to honour when they do go forward.
After the boundary throw in, Beams, little 1-2, Pendlebury and Swan. Swan inside the forward 50, loose ball at the back. Selwood, well, the Selwoods are there. Oh, untidy hand pass. Shepherd was under pressure. McCarthy's got it now. Run down by McGinnity. McGinnity goes again. Didak robs him of the football. Just flings at Goldwood. Only gained a couple of metres. Selwood back into the fray. His brother comes on the assist and got the footy. Feeds it out. Kerr. Tackled by Sidebottom. Could have almost been holding the ball. Davis tries to find a way through. Ball can't find the handle. Now he does. He goes to Thomas. And the danger man, Thomas, kicks the goal of the afternoon. Oh, we've seen some beauties, but none better than that on his left foot.
Well, we've already sung this guy's praises. West Coast Eagles did a really great job there of just trying to lock the ball down. That is an extraordinary strike. Richo, you had a very good angle on that. How or what it would be the degree of difficulty for that kick?
For a start, he was on his left foot, so it's about a 10 for most people. But for Daisy Thomas, he makes it look pretty easy. I reckon a 5 for him.
Absolutely meant it too. He check-sided on the wrong side, through for a goal. Eagles need a late one. O'Brien's closing speed, so effective. Davis. So they're going to go in on a high Collingwood here unless West Coast can get a goal. So Ebert too slow just then. Ball over the top. McCarthy. So they've absorbed some pressure, Collingwood, in this quarter, and they've turned the heat on late. Cloak's a long bomb. He's got some options over the top. Beam sets himself. Well played, Selwood, to bring it down. McGinnity under pressure from Sidebottom. And Sidebottom cleverly leaves it for Cracker, who throws it away. Rosa, Selwood, boundary throw in.
You can just tell the West Coast Eagles, not many teams can apply pressure like Collingwood, but you can just see in their slowness of movement at times that they're just not used to playing a game at this pace.
Fast learning curve today. Collingwood have got the Eagles on the ropes at half-time. Selwood dribbles the ball out. It's been a fantastic first half. Let's go down to Matthew Richardson.
Well, Nick, you just really started to wear them down there. I almost feel like you want the quarter to keep going.
Yeah, I guess it's our pressure. This is the best first half of pressure we've put on this year. So I guess it's a bit of Collingwood roll, so we've got to make sure that we don't drop off like we have been.
How good's Daisy Thomas going? That goal, unbelievable. Taking a hanger, kicked a couple, 18 touches.
I think he must be angry that he didn't get All-Australian last year because he wants to prove everyone wrong. But mate, he's been amazing. He's become a real leader in our team, a real spark for us.
Have you found a loophole with that little goal you kicked down there?
I don't know. I thought about it afterwards. It's probably a little bit too obvious, but good for me to kick a goal for the first time in about 18 months.
Oh, well done, mate.
So Nick keeps the stats as well as Josh. That's what we learnt there. It's half-time here at the G on a Sunday, and the Pies are roaring today. They look good, don't they? It's 47-20.
Got Nat Nui about 25 metres in front of him, Lynch, and 25 metres further afield in a straight line you've got Kennedy. Start of the second half then. Wood grabs the footy. Kicks it down towards half forward. Didak, they stay off him, so he kicks it deeper still. Leading back in the race is Glass. Dawes right there in his hip pocket. And the ball goes out of bounds.
It was interesting, Dennis. The footy here. McGinnity actually ran away from the ball, thinking Didak was going to get behind him, and Didak went in and got the footy then.
Getting a bit gun-shy, eh? Cloak flicks it down. Ball, wonderful balance. Cracker like a basketballer. Shuey equal to the task, and then ball fell in his back.
Get back.
No advantage, no advantage.
It is now.
We're on the edge every time, aren't we? The terminology changed on Friday night. That's the trick, I think. It comes out and is marked by Cox at left half back. Still some work to do to clear the zone.
Short they go. Thank you. Still in a dangerous spot. Hearn's a long kick, we know that, but does he go short and try to create, or does he do the switch? He goes back to Cox. Not much gain though, and now Cox not so adept at kicking as Hearn. Has to go with the short one. He finds the target in Selwood. But
Thank you. It's a slow build-up, but they've got a 5-on-5 in their forward half at the moment, the West Coast Eagles. Getting it there is going to be the problem.
So Selwood, slow kick to centre wing. Collingwood's big guys got involved. Wood and also Cloak, boundary throwing. Interesting
battle between Nat Nui and Maxwell, because Nat Nui's trying to get Maxwell deep into the goal square, and he's having none of it. Maxwell, he's trying to push up and become part of the next passage of play before it gets deep into the Eagles forward line.
Pendlebury about to come back on.
Wood wins it down decisively too. Ball's kick though straight to Smith. Smith across half back. Not a particularly good kick intended for Kennedy. Tarrant went down. Kennedy. Hand passes to no one in particular. Rosa on the end of it. Oh, terrific. A strutting Swan. Just came out of the congestion there. Sends it down towards half forward. In front though Glass. Gives no quarter. Smith look away. Hand pass back to Glass. Had to wait. Stripped of the football by Didak. Now it's 4-on-2. Swan twisting, turning. Feeling it. Didak goes back to Swan. Swan lines up the goals and kicks to McCarthy. He wasn't looking for McCarthy, I don't think.
That was a miss kick.
He tried to kick the feathers off it. McCarthy will line up from about 25 metres out.
This is great pressure here from Didak. Just watch the hips in a Glass. Wasn't fooled by the ball movement in his hands.
No, just wonderful. And what about that little hand pass from Didak? Centimetre perfect. Didn't want it to go out of bounds, so he just took everything off it. Just a little shunt. McCarthy needs to kick a goal, and he does. Made it all come together. Beautiful.
They do a lot of things well, Collingwood, don't they? I reckon one of the best things they do is playing in a confined space really well. And here they strip Glass of the ball, but just watch this again. Just not much space to operate in. Quick, dinky little handball back from Didak, and then the miss kick then to McCarthy.
McCarthy or Swan getting involved. McCarthy just 2 games last year, 2 the year before, 10 in 3 seasons. He's second this year, so just hasn't been able to break through. Thomas, Collingwood starting this half well. They've got the first goal in a quarter for the first time today. Shaw kicks the ball inside. Glass and also Dawes. Selwood put Kerr under the pump, and they are really under the pump. Glass out of bounds. Dennis was a little bit of a Kerr there. Dennis was so right about the Didak handball a moment ago. There is Didak. He just had to handball the ball straight up in the air, because if he'd handballed the ball horizontally at all, it would have gone out of play.
And that was the real difference then in his handball and then the play from Selwood.
He is such a talent, is Didak.
I think Collingwood in the preparation of this game, they've looked at probably the slower, more mechanical movement of some of the West Coast Eagles defenders, and they've really gone after them.
Wood. And then Pendlebury, Selwood and Prittis together. Well, it's going to be revealing now just to see how West Coast can handle this. They're 5 goals behind. They've been very competitive. I think you mentioned, Tim, they haven't really had their pants lowered all year. They've been beaten, but they've been competitively beaten. But at the moment, they are really looking at a big defeat unless they can get something happening.
Oh.
Hold it. No, you're head of you. No, this here. Yeah. Baron, just Thank you.
Who's holding who? Dennis?
I think Glassy's pressing his luck.
He might have had the two arms around Dawes one.
So Dawes, 3 goals in these last 3 matches, 13 in his first 5. A bit like Cloak. They haven't been kicking quite as many goals in the last few weeks, but he's on the board now. Collingwood skip away.
And here's where Glass really needed some help here in this one-on-one duel, and what he's hoping to do is be able to lock his man down. Now, he did it illegally on that occasion, but there was no help from any other West Coast Eagles defender in that contest either.
There's Chris Dawes with his first goal for the day, playing on Darren Glass, who was one of the best defenders you could ever have at locking you up in a marking contest. He was that good at it. He cost me $8,000 in wrestling fines over my career. Very disappointing, Glassy.
No one tempted to have a whip round up here, Richo. There goes the kick from Prittis inside the forward 50, and Kennedy gets on the end of it.
That's the one he wanted. And great play again from Prittis at the clearance, but he's hardly been able to find some space at all, Kennedy, this afternoon. On that occasion, the ball was just sat at the right spot so that he could run onto it here. Just a perfect example of a forward reading the ball better than the defender off the boot.
So Eagles need to get him on track. Nice, sweetly timed as he started the day.
Four clearances now to Prittis, for so long an underrated player in the AFL, not so anymore. And there's Kennedy, a very good reader of the ball.
It's an unusual run, but it's very effective. It's the first time he's actually kicked more than a goal in the 5 matches prior to, well, he played 5 matches prior to this against Collingwood, and all singles in 4 of those 5. So he's up to 2. He's kicked 2 of the 3 so far today. So in close quarters, Rose's little give. Selwood running hard and then kicking to 30 metres, and again.
It's identical manufacture of a goal-kicking opportunity, isn't it? The forward reading the ball quicker than the defender. The defender, the first inclination of the defender, you can see him right there, and there's plenty of space on that side of the ground too, but you can just see Tarrant's not really watching the ball. His first focus and attention goes towards Kennedy, whereas he reacts to where the ball's going, and that's all you need, that split second.
Well, this will be a good reply if he can get the second here and his 3rd for the match. He has. So West Coast with a bit of life. Kennedy, well done.
That was a great shot of what's going on. Bruce alluded to it earlier about how the forwards had lined up in a straight line out from the top of the square. But once again, Tarrant goes in search of the body. Kennedy, quick off the mark, reads the play before his direct opponent.
Yeah, great. Josh Kennedy getting himself into the game. Very dangerous forward. Reads it off the boot very well. Down the other end, you've got Cloak and Dawes and Andrew Cracker floating around them. He would love that. Space around 2 big men. That's his forte.
Nat Nui, delicate. Prittis has been terrific. Just teasing them. He sends it down towards half forward. Darling's in front, fisted away. Ball goes to ground. Puts it into the path of Turvey, stripped of the football by Embley. Shuey tackled by McCarthy. Down he goes. So a hot spell from Josh Kennedy, getting the Eagles back into the contest. Coming into this weekend, he led the AFL with total marks, 62. He's up to 65 now. Took 15 of them, mind you, against the Western Bulldogs. That'll do it. And he's kicked 29 goals for the season. Here's Wood. Beams so much of the football. Feeds it back. McCarthy, Pendlebury, been brilliant. High ball down towards half forward, taking giant strides at the footy was Cloak, and he latched onto it, springs to his feet. Not a good kick, although side bottom, had it bounce past him. Davis paddles at Goldwood, putting the body in there. Adam Selwood, he's been very good. Ebert, now Kerr.
Gee, played that well, Selwood, didn't he? That was
brilliant. That was brilliant.
Yeah. So that's out on the full. So on the back foot there, that's a lazy kick from Smith. So Pendlebury again. Normally finds his targets, Pendlebury. Cracker, he's got him. It's a great kick. I mean, he had no room for error, Pendlebury, there, the way he kicked that ball, but it was perfect.
Again, it's the leg speed of those small forwards that are doing the damage, and it was apparent almost from the first time the ball went into the Collingwood forward line that was going to be an area of concern this afternoon for the Eagles.
So Cracker across the face. So he's kicked a goal and a couple of behinds today. He's had a very good season. He's really justified his left field pickup in a way. It's 60-32.
Schofield charged with the kick in to himself. Little 1-2 with Smith, hugs the boundary line with his run, sends it high towards the outer side. In front, Reid takes the mark. Oh, umpire called play on and then stayed with that call. I reckon that was a mark. Darling battles Pendlebury. Like to see that again. 1, 2, that's a mark.
He was stiff. Nat Nui, Didak, well played. Pendlebury to ball. Kept it in cleverly then, ball. Then hooks back. Cracker on the move again with Cloak. McGinnity, good mark, Cracker. Gee, took that on his shoulder and then bounces off and kicks to full forward. Shaw's a chance, just overran it. Think he could see the goals. Rosa, well done again, Selwood. Had to stand up. Embley wants the boundary line, doesn't get it. Beams to Davis, still with Davis. Davis's handball to a contest. Schofield just a bit slow to release it. Collingwood's pressure terrific. This is what forward pressure's all about.
Ooh, look at the tackles inside 50. 16 to Collingwood, 4 to West Coast Eagles. Just watch this ball coming in again. See who he's short. Embley just gave up that front position far too easily.
Shuey trying to bullock his way out, rolls to Prittis. He won't give it up easily. Pendlebury surprised there by the resistance. Prittis has a firm grip. So ball up, about 35 metres out, deep in the pocket. Hard to score from here, but they've got lots of brilliance, Collingwood. Well, they don't get the footy, at least initially, although it comes back to Shaw. Nat Nui missed it. Kerr did well. Throws it on the boot. Ball told to play on. O'Brien finds a way through. Well, almost. Hand passes to Dawes. Nat Nui, a strong tackler. Nothing happening. We'll have a ball up. Nick Nat Nui laying in wait. Don't want that.
So what a combative 5 minutes we've seen. It's been terrific stuff. West Coast trying to get it out of the danger zone. Up to centre wing. Darling running hard. Embley's handball, a bit shabby. Ebert, now it's between his legs, Ebert. He shouldn't be pinged, I don't think. He's got no control over this. And a good decision to ball up.
Back out of his legs.
Perfect.
Thanks, guys.
Just those half chances that the West Coast Eagles haven't been able to take.
No. Well,
it's a difference between being able to mount an attack or being locked down.
It's finding the man under pressure with the handball. Just haven't quite done it. Reid, very good player. I think Dennis has talked a bit about him today. Tui held up. Good tackle. Now Davis with space. And then Bull quickly onto the boot. I think it might be out on the fall. It is. But this has been a good 5 minutes for West Coast. I mean, when Collingwood kicked the first 2 goals, it looked like a route might be in, but at the moment they've been able to hold firm. That was touched on the way through. Oh, not sure what Lacroix should have really gone after him again there. And now Thomas back to ball. Beautifully done to Davis.
Davis looks inside the forward 50 and Didak. There's a man on deep if he spins around quickly enough. In fact, there's two. He'll go to the square. Well, that's a shocking effort. Out of bounds on the full. Prack is saying, well, he was the target, but I think Beams was the right one. Had it been put to the opposite behind post, it wasn't. So they dodge a bullet there, the West Coast Eagles. There's Shepherd out of defence. Hangs up. Wood should mark and does. Davis wanted the ball in this term. Goes long to the square. Embley has to wait. Ooh, top that. In fact, it might be Smith who copped it. It is.
Smith, yeah.
Oh. Take a kick. Ash, take a kick. You're winded. Just come over here.
You have to show a lot of faith in a situation like that, though.
What I loved about that, Dennis and Tim, was that he actually took the mark and didn't belt the ball over the line. I mean, we see a lot of defenders that refuse to take the mark that can be taken.
But when you're that player standing under the ball like he was, what you're relying on is that Glass does. Glass does a really good job until right at the end there. I mean, he's a beast of a bloke, Cloak, but he just got underneath him.
There's Darling.
Back to the handball. Lynch. Selwood, Kerr, slow start, but he's worked into a Kerr. Now one-on-one, Kennedy's been very good in this quarter. He's a danger, but he looks up and there's a lot of Collingwood there. It's a kick to nobody really, and Thomas doing it all today. Thomas and Pendlebury, we've said that in the same sentence a few times today. Just for a moment, I mean, Swan, as good as he is, has almost taken the back seat in the last 3 weeks, hasn't he?
He's playing injured, Swan, there's no doubt about it.
And that's not a bad thing anyway. So there's Cox being worked on down low. Not so much him down low, but you know what I mean on the telly. So Wood, as it's stripped almost, back to Wood, back to Buckley. This is what he does best.
I think you were right on both counts there, Bruce. The ball goes deep into attack, fisted away down there in defence by McCarthy, or from McCarthy. It falls to Wellingham, and he goes with the outside of the boot and kicks it behind. So where's Cox?
So Ebert's off, Dennis. So the master must be on for Ebert. I think they've taken in the same draft, those two guys. They have a little swap.
Ebert doesn't look particularly happy. Good mark by Glass under pressure from Cracker.
He's actually made some really good position this afternoon, Ebert, but players weren't able to find him.
Just trying to work out if Cox is still out there. Can you see him, Tim?
Yep.
He is there.
He's in the middle of the ground.
Ah, got it. Meantime, Lynch has got it. The right half back. He's been a good lead up forward today, Quentin Lynch. Taking a bit of stick from the supporters. Drives it long towards half forward. Big pack at the drop of the ball. Prentice again. Remarkable at finding that football. He kicks it down towards the pocket and it bounces out of bounds. Now, according to some pundits, he had the worst 45 possessions in the history of the game. Matt Prentice at one stage. That's his career high. They lost by over 100 points. But seems to me, Tim, probably what you need to do first and foremost in a game of footy is get the footy.
He's marked harshly.
Gee, that was a great, sorry guys, great tap by Cox. Rosa got it from Chewy and then back to Cox.
Even he's been criticised with his kicking, but he kicks at 64%, or he has this year, which is pretty much average for midfielders. You've got to understand, players who play inside a contest like he does, generally they're under pressure when they're kicking the ball.
I think it's a lot of ball journalists who just don't like him.
So Cox, we saw him from this angle earlier today. He struck that really well, right to the goal. Kennedy almost. It's a behind. If West Coast could get the next one, they've done well in the last 2 minutes. They've really held. They've absorbed a bit of Collingwood forward thrust. Thomas running hard. What a game he's playing. And an absolutely perfect kick to ball.
Goes along the line. McCarthy staking his claim too. That's the thing. They've got some depth, Collingwood. McCarthy forward of the wing, sends it high, close to the boundary, so the players either take the mark like that or get it out of bounds. Cloak wants the footy. Schofield falls down. Cloak will open up the angle as he comes on the left side.
McCarthy's still had so much confidence in going to Clark, even though it was a 2-on-1, because Schofield and McGinnity were going to contest against him. He just recognised that the big beast was just going to be too strong.
That's patented, actually.
The beast?
The beast. Here's Cloak.
How is the beast going?
Goalless last week. He's still big. Oh, and that's a big kick. What a beauty from Cloak, straight through the middle.
Here is one-on-one. Schofield just gets him out of the way. McGinnity was the player that was pushing back. He was unable to influence the marking duel at all. But just precision play again by the Pies along the boundary line.
That's a very nice goal by Travis Cloak. Kicked through it beautifully, and that's his first goal for the day as a marking forward. Down the other end, it's either take a mark or they don't get a goal, the Eagles. Kennedy's kicked 3. They've had nothing at ground level all day.
So they win it out of the centre again, Richo. Cox's kick, Maxwell, and now Davis. What a good game he's having again today, Davis. Darling, O'Brien, Harry winding up. Darling's pretty quick. Harry's got him though. Good tackle, O'Brien. Pushes out towards Bull. Bull scooped it up almost, I think. Well done, Wood. Now Pendlebury demanding them to come to him. Kicks the ball to half forward. See, the big guys are starting to really have an influence, aren't they? Now Dawes and Cloak. And Dawes with that long leg of his. Wellingham at the back. Side bottom lurking with Cracker. Embley went to ground. Shepherd. Marston on the ground. Kerr. Selwood. Dawes. Well played Schofield that time. Belting the ball out. Reid breaks the tackle. There wasn't one. And then lines it up with a long ball to full forward. Cracker. Cracker. Cracker.
It's been the story of the afternoon. One end they can't actually stop the ground level ball, and at the other end they can't find a ground level ball. Just watch this again. Just perfect crumbing from Cracker.
That's a bad combination, isn't it?
I don't know that I've ever seen a better crummer than Cracker. I mean, there might be the equal to him, but his ability to be able to find that ball and position himself in the right position.
Out of the middle, Swan to half forward. Cracker 8 possessions for 2 goals, doing his job. There he is, standing in the path of Shepherd. Ooh, Hearn came through. Hit ball. Didak. They just keep working at it. They're like bees in there, these Collingwood players. He just went from one pack to the other, Wellingham, and found the footy and then kicks it to Beams.
But they have such confidence, don't they, Dennis? Like, Beams has actually ducked out the back there, knowing that, OK, we've got our players there. They're capable. This is the ball that they had to win. Wellingham won it. And while he's doing that, Beams is deciding, OK, well, I'm going to go to space. I'm confident in my teammates. There he is, just drifts out the back into that space.
Well, Wellingham was involved with one pack, and then he moved to another pack and got the footy. I'm not sure you can change hides in midstream, but that's what he did. So here's Beams. We're right behind him. Margin is at 40. Now it's 46. Oh, no, it's not. Hit the post halfway up. He can't believe it. Did its best work over the last 5 meters of its trip from right to left. Richo would know all about that.
See, he had a famous shot there against Hawthorn. Similar angle last year. So the ball did look a goal in the run, that's for sure. Just their ability, Collingwood, to sustain the pressure. I mean, West Coast for a lot of today has been able to go with them, but Collingwood are a 100% team.
That's why they can score in such bursts, Collingwood, because when the dam wall breaks, it really breaks down, and it's almost like they've got another gear that they can go to.
Wood doing pretty well here. Kicking the ball inside to Beams, and now McCarthy. Tackle on him by McGinnity.
Fine, go through.
I mean, John Worsfold said to Richo pre-game about just finding out where they're at today. So for them, this is going to be a touch of realisation. You see him there on the phone, and they know they've still got some work to do.
Nat Nui down to Cox, and Cox is kick, not a great one. Schofield's got some time though, and now can he use it?
Lays it off to Rosa. Rosa in full stride. Goes looking for Kerr, setting him a task. A lot of courage shown there by Thomas. 2 Collingwood players over the ball. Ball, one of them. Gets it out to Swan. Decides to run it up. Now he lays it off. Pendlebury, so much class, just striding around the outer side wing. And now with Cracker. Cracker will go all the way back to Thomas, and it's a lazy kick. Well, Lynch had the misfortune to slip over. Cracker gets it back from Tarrant. Or rather, Thomas got it back from Tarrant. Kick from Shaw, Maxwell, Davis, Maxwell. Forward at the wing, inside the forward 50. Bounces off Cloak. In the back, surely to Cox. No free kick. Cox slow to get up. It's out of bounds.
Now, Daisy Thomas didn't actually mark the ball, but it was his courage at the other end of the ground. Just watch this. He's Rosa. And he just goes back into that space, into the unknown. I mean, such courageous play.
Good point. Embley. He's had very little space today, Embley. Marston coughs it up. Dawes, or sort of a reflex handball, Embley. They're in such tight quarters. Marston's initial tackle looked a bit high, but then brought it down. And a ball up. So Collingwood, with a couple of bursts in this quarter at the start and then more recently, have put a space between themselves and West Coast on the board. Cox wins the tat. I think Embley was quite sure that was coming. Lacroix had a quiet day. Nikoski the same. That kick back to Kerr again, and O'Brien easily. Well, if you're going to kick the ball high to Kerr and O'Brien's with him, you know what the end result's going to be. Davis. She's fitted him well at half-back, hasn't he, Davis? Well, that's a free kick. Embley today, 215 games, makes him equal 10th with Chris Lewis, who was in the paper today. Good article about his influence on Indigenous players and the racism that might have been about when he was first playing. So 215 games for Embley.
Cox and Wood. Cox directs it down, looking for Priddis. Tackled by Ball. Comes back to Priddis.
Really interesting then about where the 2 spare players positioned themselves. The ball's at centre wing area. Hearn is the free player for the Eagles. He was about 30 metres away from the stoppage. Heathshaw actually pushed himself right deep down into their defensive 50.
Priddis again. Ball Magnet. Davis, McCarthy, Ball. Floats one up towards the wing. Side bottom. Ghosts in from the side of the pack. Brilliant stop there by Cracker. Too ambitious, though, in trouble holding the footy.
It's 50.
50 metres.
Oh, Wood. So McGinnity comes within scoring range. It's interesting, and you would find the same thing, Bruce, I think, if you live in Adelaide or Perth. The local fans see their teams invariably at their best. Whoops. Shuey wants to go.
Right out. Right out, thank you.
But this isn't disastrous this afternoon, although if you're going to win a premiership or win a final, you've got to come here at some stage. But in Perth, certainly the Eagles have been terrific this year. And had this game been played in Perth, one assumes it would have been a fair bit closer. But for the moment, at least, the West Coast Eagles really struggling to cling on. That could help. Well, they go poster for poster.
Dennis, I reckon the other thing about the way they've been playing the West Coast Eagles over there too is that the Subiaco ground, or Patterson Stadium as it's now known, is a lot narrower than the MCG. And so it's easier for them to actually do the press, whereas here there's more space for you to guard. And Collingwood, as we know, aren't afraid to use the ball really wide.
Very wide.
They just spread so well. They work so hard. Gee, well done, Wellingham. Back to McGinnity. I think in many ways the Eagles have brought out the best in the Pies today, and that's a compliment. The kick to the 50. It's been a sustained effort by Collingwood today, one they've been looking for. McCarthy plays to Schofield. Has to be careful. Didac closes. The difference when they spread these two teams today is that West Coast spread, but they're still in a defensive position, whereas Collingwood, their ability to move the ball sideways but then forward is much more efficient. So Hearn's kick. Kerr is at the back and gets up high. Cox and the handball to a contest. But I'm going to be interested, Dennis, on that point, just to see how West Coast manage this last quarter. They're looking at a defeat, we know that, but let's just see if the structure stays sound and the game plan stays solid here. Darling belts the ball to full forward. Naitanui in a bit of a wrestle there with Maxwell. Naitanui only as far as O'Brien. Good match, those two, aren't they? Up front. He's done it again, Daisy. What a game he's having. Not much you can't do today. So Collingwood stretched that lead. They've pushed it out to 40 points here. Low scoring match at 74-34 on Sunday footy at the MCG.
I think to start the third term. Final quarter then at the MCG Sunday footy. Naitanui goes up and taps it down. Thomas, remarkable game. First possession, kicks to the outer side. Side bottom will get there first. Hearn did well, got rid of him, knowing the cavalry was coming, but the cavalry is escorted across the boundary. LaCroix.
He's had a quiet day, LaCroix, hasn't he? Just hasn't had an impact. Wood and Naitanui. Naitanui wins the tap. Ball in hard. Wood belts forward. Selwood liked his game. Crackett, very good. Found space, and then Thomas took it at full pace down low, and then kicks the ball to a hot spot. Cloak.
Collingwood have got those players who make something out of nothing, like Cracker made then. So he turns a disadvantaged position into a position of advantage, gets the ball to the free player there, as we see Thomas, and then he just goes towards the top of the square, and he's so strong.
Did everything right, didn't they? Not only with skill, but strategically as well in that little passage of play.
They play the percentages really well.
Cloak's a towering force, isn't he? He really is. Kicking well, gets his second.
And Cracker doesn't get midfield type numbers because he's not pushing up into the midfield. He's had 10 touches, 6 contested possession, and a couple of clearances in the forward line. But it's his ability to actually be able to win the ball in a really dangerous part of the ground.
Gold Coast would kill for those.
Darwin would kill for them.
Oh, Darwin was in Darwin. Oops, apologies. Can they litigate? There's Tuvey. Ball kicks out wide. He was channel surfing last night. Forgot what the lights failed. Coming through was Wellingham, and the ball is coming back to Embley. He's got the free kick at right half back. Interesting with Cloak. 20 goals for the season. 8 have come in last quarters. It's that old adage about the big guys not shrinking late in games. They're still as tall as they start.
Yeah, the other part about that, Dennis, is that has been Collingwood's best quarter too. So the opportunities that he's had late in the game have really been bountiful.
It's not a commentary word, Tim. Bountiful. It's very good. Shuey slips it over the top. Embley again. Whoops. Awkward half volley. Tuvey goes after it once more. Stifled it initially. Flicks it over his shoulder. Buckley with his head down. Inadvertent boot from Davis. Taken by Wood. The look-away hand pass. Eventually okay at Swan.
Bursts through and then kicks the ball to a contest. Cloak, clever. Dawes. Didak started brilliantly today. Back to Cloak on the right side for him. He had Swan running so hard. He'd started it all, Swan.
And that first kick was so intelligent then from Swan.
And now he kicks the ball right there for... Is it a goal? I think it is. It's gone all the way.
I think it was touched. I'll throw the boundary in.
100% he didn't touch it? I didn't see it touched. Okay, so you're 100% didn't touch it? You're 100% it's not touched? He didn't touch it. Yeah, okay, all clear.
It's goal. To see how they manage Swan, Tim, because he's got a bit of a thigh, but do they keep playing him or give him a spell in Arizona?
It's an odd. It must be an odd injury because it hasn't stopped him from playing, but it stopped him from being at his absolute best. This was great follow-up play by. It looked like it went through his fingers. I'm not sure what sort of a case Schofield mounted then, or whether or not he was even in.
Got some support from the central umpire. Gee, if you're a goal umpire these days, your confidence would be at a low ebb, wouldn't you? The first thing they do is run down and have a conference on your work. Like, out of the middle, long kick deep inside the forward 50 comes from Lacroix, but the mark is taken by Reid. So Reid has virtually been impassable, and it seems he might be back on Kennedy. Kennedy's booted 3. Reid kicks it up towards the wing. Almost Dawes. Hitting the pack hard was Shaw. Bit unfortunate not to get a free kick. Sockers it down towards the 50 for the Magpies. Cloak uses Shaw as a decoy. Well, he got boot to ball, I thought. Anyway, free kick. Embley arrived quickly. Short run from Lacroix. Opportunity on the wing. Rosa played it well. Marston's been quiet. Started as the sub. Kicks inside the forward 50. Nat Nui was being held. Doesn't matter. That's a terrific grab.
He's sure still protesting behind play. He thought that he should have got the return ball from Cloak, but he actually had somebody right on him. Cloak did the right thing. He just wasn't quick enough to be able to dispose of the ball.
This will be an interesting kick. He may try and lay it off here. Nat Nui doesn't always kick through the footy. It's more of a poke. Well, he kicked through it, but it's offline to the opposite pocket. Kennedy launches himself. Wood gets the crumb and scrambles it out of there. Lacroix, if it stays in, has got a play on the ball, but it runs away from him and goes out of bounds.
Not sure if I want to be Heath Shaw's dog tonight, Tim. I reckon when he gets home he might kick something, don't you?
He's shown a little bit of frustration this afternoon.
He's fired up. Prittis again, but good smother, I think, from Davis. Tuvey got involved. Prittis, the handball, put Selwood under pressure. Two of the best, I think, for West Coast, don't you? Prittis and Selwood.
Yep.
They've stuck to their guns, those two guys. Kicks the ball to the pocket. Kennedy. Oh, they've been a one-trick pony, West Coast. Kennedy 3 goals. Kerr, which was a long bomb in, the only other goal scorer. And we talked at the start of the show about their firepower forward. It hasn't happened today. Pendlebury, and the Wood belts it away. Lacroix. The handball missed the lot. Shuey couldn't quite. Wood getting a few touches. Beam, Swan. Brilliant kick by Swan. Really cramped up, and he found side bottom.
Touched off the boot. Dawes comes up, back to side bottom. Attracted a crowd, went over the top. Didak up on his toes, back to side bottom. Running it down towards half forward. Looks across the ground and comes to the peacemaker O'Brien. So O'Brien, about 70 metres from goal to Reid, centre on his left boot. Sends a long searching kick inside the forward 50. Not sure who he was searching for, and the mark is taken by Glass. Glass just pops it to Cox. He's in the defensive goal square. Drives it outside the 50. Rosa and O'Brien. They meet at the football. O'Brien plays it brilliantly to Tuvey. Tuvey under pressure. Cloak. Well, could have almost marked that one. Could have been taken high as well. It doesn't matter. Beams runs into an open goal. Or is it McCarthy? It's McCarthy.
Just watch this again. This is Harry O'Brien getting the ball off to Tuvey. Cloak initially misses the mark. But just watch his recovery here. To get back on the ball, there he goes. He puts the pressure on the West Coast Eagles, and McCarthy gets the ball that spills back out again. This is what you want to see from one of your big guys. Here's Cloak, misses the ball. Good spoil there. West Coast Eagles look like they're going to get it out. Back onto the contest again. And then the beneficiary, McCarthy.
He's kicked a couple, McCarthy. So 8 of the last 10 scoring shots for Collingwood. 5 goals, 3 to 2 points. Cox to Priddis. It was a good tap. Priddis held up by Beams. And then ball wide. They spread. Buckley, well played. Davis been very, very good. Looking all the time to be constructive. Finds Beams. One of the reasons they have good last quarters, everyone, or most of the players on the team would want to be playing next week. They've got so much depth. And there are, McCarthy's 2 today help him. Beams, we've talked about, right on the borderline, an important player. Blokes like McCaffrey are waiting to try and get back in.
It's a great defensive effort this afternoon, though. They've gone inside their attacking 50, the West Coast Eagles, 41 times for a return of 4 goals.
I think it says more about Collingwood's defence. I think it does.
Yeah, today the way they've shuffled themselves down back and the pressure their midfield has applied to the West Coast Eagles' disposal, I feel too.
Reid is so important for them, I think, with Brown's injury, because they've got tall marking forwards and they've got a guy down back that can take a mark as well. Here's ball.
Sends it inside the 50, reaching over the top glass. McCarthy gave it to Cracker. Pendlebury, look away handball. McCarthy's onto it again, goes to the opposite pocket. And this will run away from Selwood and Thomas and go out of bounds. Probably 3 walk-up starts to come back into the team. Jolly, Johnson and Brown. Johnson doing a hamstring yesterday on the VFL. He was in terrific form before getting injured. Trying to come back yesterday.
Put your hand up in his throat.
He's going to miss some more football.
Nah, not then. Travis, absolutely nothing there other than that.
There's the skipper, still involved. Subbed out. Cox has got the football in the back pocket meantime. Sends it high towards the wing. Lynch in front. From behind, Dawes got a fist on it. Blair on the ground. Side bottom. Buckley. He's a good kick, Buckley. This one, beautiful. Through it goes.
Blair just coming onto the ground, getting involved immediately, just a good strong punch. And as we've seen all afternoon, Collingwood's ability to be able to find the right bloke at the right time in space, outstanding.
10 goal scorers again today. They've done that a number of times this year. To come, St Kilda Saturday night, Melbourne by Sydney in Sydney. So they're always going to be favourite, whoever they play, even against the Cats.
That game against St Kilda next week looks tougher after what St Kilda did yesterday, though.
But this has been, I think, as good as Collingwood's played all year. They would have had maybe bigger wins, but I'm not sure if they played it much better than this. They've been very good. Buckley's another example of the depth, isn't he? Because with Johnson waiting to come back, but Buckley's running goal. He's a fine player. Lynch, Embley running hard and then banging long. Collingwood with the numbers. Tarrant should take it, and he does. To Davis. Gee, he'll be hungry, Davis. He was the unlucky guy last year. I mean, he'd lost form at the wrong time, hadn't he? So he misses the premiership. Not wide. Cox had a fair bit of the ball, but I think Tim mentioned not a lot's happened from the big guys today. I mean, Nat and Cox we've seen enough of them, but they haven't generated a whole lot, have they? I guess Priddis has been the recipient of a bit of good tap work.
Here's Hearn. He's forward of half back. Margin 64 points. Equally impressive, though. Held to 34. There's Priddis again. Kicks inside the forward 50. Well, some holding on. Umpire lets them play. Darling is deep in the pocket. Take a good kick from here. Sends it very high. O'Brien backs himself. Did very well. Controlled it to his own advantage. Flung out of there. But Heath Shaw just standing off the pack, runs away. Couple of bounces, 2 men to choose in the middle. Didak has it, runs through midfield. On the leader's cloak, and those 3 runners kept coming. Look at them. They surge past. He goes to one of them with a kick instead. Well, what was he thinking? He's gone to the Justin Kazitsky School of Unawareness there. He was just wandering along. Well, it's a St Kilda trait, obviously.
Poor old Cozzy, he misses out on playing yesterday, and
I'm off it. That bounce with Ed Curnow. I mean, he tried to bounce him.
McGinnity. Dern. The point about them streaming forward, Dennis, is a good one. They're working so hard. Lynch to full forward. Reed's big grass, and now Nikoski. Does he get it?
Right.
He does. So a 3rd goal kicker, and they get their 5th.
So a lot of Heath Shaw just throwing his arms in the air, trying to work out what happened again. Here's the almost mark there from Reed.
And there's the Eagles forward line. A great goal by Mark Nikoski, but that was only their 3rd goal kicker for the day and their 1st ground level goal. So that's been the difference. Down the other end, Collingwood have had 10 goal kickers. We know that's a great strength of theirs. Very hard to beat when you get 10 goal kickers.
Kerr out of the middle, kicks it. Bounces just in front of Marston. Tackle from behind by Wellingham. Wellingham with Nikoski jumping on the pair of them, and we'll have a ball up.
Tackle, just no point. Okay, Sharon, thanks, mate.
Dennis, you know the list, the Eagles list better than most. Have they got somebody there that they're grooming to play that sort of small, nippy, speedy, crumbing forward role?
Not to my knowledge, no. No one that sort of leaps off the page at you. Nice work by Nikoski. Don't need one, Tim. Look at Nikoski. Back-to-back goals. 46 plays 98. No, I can't think of any small crumbing forward. I think they probably think they're well served with Lacroix, but he's not the crummer really. No. He's not electrifyingly quick, is he? I like Strike. He made an impression last year when he came into the team, but at the moment he can't force his way in, because coming in today we thought the forward line was the strength, didn't we?
Yeah, their marking power and their ability to play one-on-one against their opponent. Just see that tap again from space, and Kerr, who gets his hands free generally in a tackle, and Nikoski just summing up the situation really quickly.
So a couple of goals to Nikoski for the 6th time this year, so 12 goals for the season. McCarthy's also kicked 2. Cracker's so brilliant to pick up down low and then finds Blair.
He just doesn't fumble.
No. One great footballer.
It doesn't matter how quickly the ball might be bobbling about. He has this great capacity to turn almost a disadvantaged position into a position of advantage.
Blair's the only player out there today for Collingwood that's debuted in the last 2 seasons. They don't have a rookie as such today, as Cracker comes from the ground. A terrific effort. So Blair, he had a huge impact in the 2nd half of last year. Had a wonderful start to this season, and that's a behind.
It's ironic too that we're talking about the fact that the West Coast Eagles don't have that type of player at ground level, and yet that's where Cracker played his football last year over there in the West.
Yep. I'd love him in their team right now.
Oh, I think they would. I mean,
probably every other.
There's probably 16 other teams that would like him in their team too.
Ball's getting a free kick for a push. Luke Ball, another good day. Towards the 50. Strong mark in front, Pendlebury. The game he has played. Coming up to his 28th possession. I fixed it. He averages 23 over his career against the West Coast Eagles. And he's averaging 28 a game this season for Collingwood. Right on his average with 8 minutes to go. Here's McGinnity out of the back pocket. Sends a high ball close to the boundary line. Pendlebury was up. Critters camped in front. Beams in midair. Didak hurriedly onto the boot. Floats it down towards full forward. Hearn, strength, goes after it. It's out of bounds.
crowd today is 52,500. It's only the 4th time that West Coast have played in front of, well, it's the 4th biggest home and away crowd they've played in front of. The highest ever at Subi's 44. So big learning curve in more ways than one today. Swan's handball was a tricky one to get hold of. Plenty of time now for Beams. So Beams sizes up. It was like a needle in a haystack at the end. Mark claimed. Shuey getting it from Hearn. McCoskey back to Shuey. Shuey on the left. Good kick. O'Brien's so quick here, though. You're backing well done by Embley. And then Embley may get a free kick. He played that well, Embley. And then Embley quickly on. They should get a goal here. Lacroix's going to have his first shot for the day. Walks in and delivers. So 3 late goals for the Eagles.
That hurts for Harry O'Brien too, because he's done such a great job on Lacroix, but it was he that was unable to get away from Embley. And then you see Lacroix, and this has happened so few times today. They're just starting to probably tire a little bit, Collingwood, but the Eagles forwards have not had anywhere near that amount of space in the first 3 quarters. Look at that, 3 of them. 3 of them just camped out there, just waiting for the ball to arrive. And I mean, they're enjoying the space in the latter stages of this game, but there has been very little space for them to operate in today.
And Collingwood had every reason to think they'd win that football, didn't they? It was just a terrific effort by Embley. And those West Coast Eagles players, Lacroix in particular, the beneficiaries. There's an opportunity for Embley once again. He's forward at the wing, thinking about going inside. Settles now and kicks long, about 20 metres out. Cox can't get to the contest, and once again, terrific mark taken by Reid. What a game he's played in defence.
They've turned him into a real player, haven't they, Reid?
I'd say.
He made his mark in the last month of football last year, really.
Selwood, he's been very good. Cox on the lead, off his hands. Lynch in the grasp, kicks it out wide. Nikoski takes the mark. So Nikoski right on the 50. Bruce talking about that great crowd today. I must mention Jerry O'Day and the Swanbourne Tiger Little Leaguers. Well, here from Western Australia. Had a win yesterday, watching the game today. Full weekend of footy. Here's Nikoski going at his 3rd. Right across the face, or was that an educated kick? I think it was a missed kick. Thomas gets the football. Got it from Tuvey, drives it wide, and out of bounds it goes on the full.
So Schofield goes back inboard to Smith. Took a hard hit in the 3rd quarter, Smith, and then a slow ball, too slow. Picked off. Beams, they read it so well, Colin, when they're prepared to go to the contest of the ball. They don't hesitate. Pendlebury, who started magnificently today, along with Thomas. Kicked by Tuvey. Side bottoms early goal, set things up. Cloak disadvantage. Well played Glass that time. Gets it across to Cox. Over to Embley from Glass. So 3 of their 6 that were in the premiership here in 06 combining there. Out wide to Darling. So his first match at the MCG, first time he's played against Collingwood. Back to Cox we go. And now he's got Selwood really wide. Another premiership player. In a big match in 06 did Selwood. Good kick to Smith. Schofield back inboard, breaks the tackle. And he has a lead in Kennedy. Good hands, but Reid played him well. Tuvey gets it from Pendlebury and then hits Dawes.
Dawes, casual, touched by the man standing the mark. Dropped there by Selwood, who looks pretty tired. Didak comes away, beautiful kick. Oh, on a collision course there. Going back with the flight of the football was Cracker. Cloak was coming up. Cracker's the worst for Weir. No, he's okay. They did make contact in mid-air. Wonderful courage by Cracker, just following the football. And Cloak was the intended man. Over the top, Nat Nui intended for Priddis. Priddis and Ball. We've seen that a few times today at the base of the pack, those two. Just nursing that left arm, Cracker, and I think he wants off. So bounce about 40 metres out.
Made a big contribution today, Cracker.
No, he's still going high. Yep.
Scott Selwood. Oh, it's a terrible kick. Didak sweeps on it. Now it's out of play.
He almost improvised then, didn't he?
He can mesmerise at times. I think he tried to mesmerise the boundary. But
I'd like to see him go head-to-head with Lionel Messi. Actually, Pendlebury's been outstanding all afternoon. Thomas has been spectacular. I think Pritis has been the West Coast Eagles' best player. And I think Harry O'Brien's done an outstanding job on LaCroix.
Just thinking about that Pendlebury Thomas, we had Murphy on Friday night. They were 1, 2 and 5 from the same draft. Murphy, Thomas and Pendlebury. Been a good weekend for those guys.
It's a good draft.
So Smith running hard. A couple of bends. LaCroix's working hard back. Can he get it over the top? Goes in board to Kerr. They haven't played this very well at all.
Terrible.
That was not clever. And then Shaw's quick kick. Rose's sort of look away half handball to Pritis. They are tired. Back to Marston. He wouldn't be tired. Being the sub. The kick in towards the goal square. Side bottom. Well trapped though by Embley. Back to LaCroix. Still with LaCroix. Ducks down low. Holding the ball. No, boundary throw.
Embley hasn't given up, has he? That's a couple of times now. He's been terrific.
Got good memories of this ground, Embley, hasn't he? Norm Smith and all that.
Yeah. Cox in front. Wood there at the second attempt. Pritis too hot. Wood out of mid-air and just missed it by a metre.
I think Moldhouse would be pretty happy and contented with the performance this afternoon. A couple of weeks ago, he was talking about Collingwood coming out into the ring and throwing the first punch. And last week, they didn't do that. They sort of sat back on the ropes and they got punched around a bit early. And then they had that magnificent last quarter. But they certainly meant business when they arrived here today.
Well, McCarthy has done well. Wood's done well. The longer it's gone, the better he's played against two quality ruckmen, particularly Dean Cox. So LaCroix, this is not beyond him either. Deep in the pocket. Well, kicks it behind.
The season interrupted early by injury. He really got going late last year. 58 goals in 63 in his last two seasons. That's a great return.
Well, he got 12 against the Bombers round 16 last year, didn't he?
That helped.
Also.
They're big numbers, though, for that type of forward.
Yep.
His role's changed a bit this year, though, too, isn't it? With the arrival of Darling and Kennedy and Lynch sort of playing more as that forward, too. So he's not the marking target that he was last year. Buckley's
long ball. Lynch up high, Dawes, side bottom in heavy traffic. Had to cough it up in the end, and well, Kerr puts a good tackle on, and unfortunately put it on Scott Selwood. Blair, Buckley had the ball stripped by Marston, working hard, and again Kerr puts a tackle on his own guy. Shepherd kicks the ball to about 55 metres. Pendlebury, Kerr manicured the way he got in then, and then Smith look away to Selwood, and then Selwood to about 30 metres. Kennedy stretching, Shaw gets the ball back to Swan, and then Swan doesn't panic. Well done. It's a beautifully weighted handball, actually, to Ball, to Beams. It can open up here.
Beams from right half back. Side bottom, has to lunge. Thinks about giving it back. Nat Nui played it well, just waiting for the man to drift up the ground. That was Didak and met him. Top of the arms, free kick on the other side, going Collingwood's way. McCarthy has 2 goals, goes all the way back to O'Brien. Minute and a half to go. Shaw. It's a hiccup certainly for the West Coast Eagles, but this is a very good team. Thomas, Reid, not the Eagles, I'm talking about Collingwood. Although the Eagles, a work in progress. Buckley, to the advantage of the big guy Dawes, who applies a strong tackle, having missed the mark. Nat Nui dives in there as well. At the base of that is Marston. Will have a ball up. That's Cracker.
Yeah, with that little collision with Clark. Tim, they don't come back to the MCG in the home away season at West Coast, and they don't play Collingwood again in the home and away season. So I'll take a lot from this game. Whittingham's going to kick another goal. Another crumbing forward goal for Collingwood.
And another midfield return.
So 11 goal kickers now for the Pies.
And their midfield was actually kick goals, and I was looking at that before the game and just lining them up, and there were no goal kickers in the West Coast Eagles midfield, unlike Well, I guess Embley plays up the ground a bit, so he has been a goal kicker. But Collingwood has got a real strength in that area with Pendlebury and Thomas going forward and kicking goals. And this bloke, too, has been busy all afternoon, Wellingham.
I think the presence of cloak and doors, they don't have to be kicking high numbers, but they create space and create contests and have a lot of people worrying about them. There's always a little bit of room for them coming forward.
Well, if you shut one down, I mean, another one rears its head.
The balance is about perfect for Collingwood right now.
Wood knocks it down. Advantage is paid. Swan to Blair, takes off, can loop it over the top, goes to Cloak. He could have turned around and lined up. That's a poor effort. Bounces out of bounds. Nobody near him. Wanted to take the kick on the turn.
He could have drawn the player ahead of him. Blair.
Everything was better than what he tried. Still, he's had a good afternoon. Close quarters, misses ball. Selwood slips over. Blair, ball smothered off the boot. Selwood smothered by ball. After it goes McGinnity. McGinnity slams a hand pass out wider. Hearn in some space. Along the boundary line taken by Rosa. Very close to out of bounds. Rosa kicks it up towards the wing. O'Brien goes back. 10 seconds to go. Fittingly, Thomas has the ball late. Goes back to O'Brien. O'Brien will go to Reid, and I guess he'll finish up with a football. He kicks it to Buckley, right on the siren. Thomas, a virtuoso performance. 30 possessions. Collingwood prevail. Far too good this afternoon. Put down the challenge from the boys from the West who have been a revelation this season. 16-9 to 7-11. Well, they had all the answers today. Their defence was strong, their forward line dangerous, and they won decisively around the pass. Terrific. There's Cracker, the casualty out of the game as far as the Magpies are concerned.